We wanted to figure out exactly what was happening.
Count Mayor-elect Helena Moreno among the New Orleans leaders shocked by our exclusive investigation last month that unearthed a gaping $123 million hole in the city's Katrina road repair program known as JIRR.
Ever since we saw your story on JIRR, obviously myself and other members of the council became very concerned.
Especially concerned when we discovered Mayor LaToya Cantrell's administration had been using the city's general fund to pay for the FEMA-funded road work without asking for reimbursements.
I don't know why they ever utilized the general fund to front those dollars. That's the city's operating dollars.
And my investigation found the city spent those operating dollars even after telling the city council in February they were on a fiscal cliff.
That was a mistake, I believe, and it doesn't appear that that's continuing to happen, which is good.
The city made the general fund whole in June with $43 million from a capital bond fund. But Louisiana Legislative Auditor Mike Waguespack says there's a bigger problem on the horizon. FEMA's deadline to finish all the street work is December 31st.
So roughly in about 3 weeks, if that extension is not granted, there's going to be stop work orders across this city for any project because they can't spend $1 or they can't get a dollar reimbursed past 12/31 if that deadline has not been extended.
In August, the state told FEMA it backed giving the city an extension to December 1st, 2028. Waguespack says the request is still sitting on a desk at FEMA headquarters.
And these are projects where it's like the roads are opened up, you've got, the pilings in, and if we don't get this extension, well, now it's up to the city to cancel those projects or try to figure out a way to finish those projects. But I could be left with a real mess that's costly to the point of tens of millions of dollars.
Residents like Leah Namer know that mess all too well. She lives in Gentilly on a street that's barely passable, sandwiched between two other streets completely torn up for repairs.
If you can't park in your neighborhood and you have groceries to unload and you live in the middle of the neighborhood, it just becomes a problem, very inconvenient.
She expects better financial management from city leaders.
There's no excuse for the money that is there and then it all of a sudden is not there for whatever reason. It's unacceptable.
I discovered the problem by reviewing hundreds of pages of financial ledgers. They showed the city managed the JIRR cash flow well during Cantrell's first term with 1,500 reimbursements and 7 large advances from FEMA. But in late 2022, the city stopped getting those reimbursements, relying only on occasional advances.
If the extension is granted, wouldn't it be smart to continue to do the mix of advances and reimbursements that they were doing until 2022?
Yeah, between advances especially, when you kind of exceed your 120 million or whatever the advance is, okay, let's do a express pay, provide the invoice and look at the documentation and then approve it and reimburse the city within 30 days.
Waguespack says it looks like communication between the city's project delivery and financial offices broke down.
They're working in different areas of the office and they're not always communicating together. So when we ask a question of one department, sometimes you get a different answer from the other departments.
To address that, Moreno has tapped City Council Budget Chair Joe Giarrusso as her Chief Administrative Officer.
One of the things that I've instructed CAO Giarrusso to move forward with is really ensuring that we have this increased level of coordination and collaboration.
Well, but why didn't the city council have eyes on that and understand what was going on with JIRR when the project delivery person sent the letter saying it's putting a strain on city finances and we're 96 million in the hole?
Well, as you've been able to see, the city council was kept in the dark for a lot of different things happening with the finances of the city. And even when we asked questions, we weren't getting truthful answers in return.
Moreno says she and Giarrusso pushed for years to get the Cantrell administration to hire an outside project manager to coordinate street repairs, to no avail.
And as you know, there were a level of change orders and mistakes made and all these different things where we wasted money on fixing projects. And that money could have gone to repairing even more streets.
But in fairness to Cantrell, former mayors Ray Nagin and Mitch Landrieu spent millions on project managers for over a decade and didn't manage to get any of the post-Katrina street repairs done. It was only when Cantrell became mayor that almost $900 million in work was completed, all without paying a project management firm. David Hammer, WWL, Louisiana.
And David interviewed the city's project delivery team for his first report on JIRR, but when he followed up about Moreno's comments, the city declined to answer more questions. You can watch those stories on our website, WWLTV.com, and streaming on our app, WWL+.